Hello scrapbooking friends, and thank you for joining me for another process video. Today is actually a partial process video, as you can probably see in front of you already. What I've done is created my background because I'm using blank cardstock, white cardstock, and I've already created my pattern. And I've already kind of set out the grid and everything. So as you can see, it's a grid style layout, and lots of stamping and a white background. So I thought I would come on here and just show you, or talk to you about it and show you the finishing touches kind of thing, because it was quite difficult to do all this and I didn't think you'd want to watch me do all this stamping with different colours and everything. So I've used planner stamps. I'm entering this, or I'm producing this layout as part of Scraptember. So Scraptember is kind of like a challenge that you can do, and there's different prompts every day. Every day is a different prompt in September. And it's just to get you scrapbooking. So I'll pop some of the details in my description box below. But today's prompt is to use white 12 by 12. So that's what I've done. I've got that lovely Chamel Main Character Energy paper that I love so much, that I've used on a previous Elvis Day layout, I'm sure. And I was going to use that, but then I wanted to use that for my Joseph layouts. So I thought I would create my own background in the spirit of using my supplies. And I have not purchased any new pattern paper for ages, so I don't have a lot of pattern paper in my stash. So this is Elvis Day. So as you probably know already, if you follow me, I'm an Elvis fan. If you're not an Elvis fan, or you don't want to hear about Elvis, then this is probably not the place for you. But yeah, Elvis Day, 16th of August, the anniversary of when Elvis passed away, and my husband and I like to celebrate his life on this day. So we tend to go over to Rilston here on the island, where there's an Elvis plaque, which is this one here. We tend to go over there with the dogs, and there's a nice park there and everything. And then we'll come home and, you know, we'll listen to the Elvis music, and we will watch the movies. So on this day we went over there. The Elvis plaque, if you've been following me, you'll know that the Elvis plaque has been moved. There was some land dangerous. Where the Elvis plaque was before is right on the edge of a cliff on the island, and there's some cracking in the ground, in the pavement, so they've actually cordoned off that area and moved the plaque temporarily. So I found that out back in June when Heather was visiting, my subscriber Heather, and we went over to look at the Elvis plaque. I knew that there was, I knew that there was damage. I didn't know they'd moved the plaque, and we just kind of found it in the grounds of this hotel. It's still there. So yeah, I've contacted the council and my MP, my new MP, and I found out that it is going to be moved to near to the bandstand, which is very near to where it is now. And it's kind of in between where it used to be and where it is now. But it hasn't happened yet. And when I contacted the council recently, the town council, they kind of blamed it all on the Isle of Wight council. You know, these things tend to happen, don't they? But I'm not going to let it go. I know it's not particularly important matter, but means a lot to me. So I shall keep pestering them until I find out when they're going to move it to its permanent home. So yeah, that's me rambling on there. So yeah, Elvis Day. As you can see, I've done a colourful layout because I like to do colourful layouts for Elvis Day. I've used Chamel Main Character Energy foam Elvis here in that beautiful colour. And I placed those all down already because they are foam, they're very thin, and they're very, very fiddly. So I didn't think you'd particularly want to watch me doing that. I tend to quite often do grid layouts for Elvis Day because I have just lots of photos, like of, say, the Elvis plaque, me with the dogs, the movies that I've watched, you know, or whatever CDs I may have been listening to, that kind of thing. And on this day, I've also got here my treadmill. So this is where I walk on my treadmill. And I was listening to Elvis, obviously, when I was walking on my treadmill that morning. So I started my day with my exercise, listening to Elvis. Then we went over to Rilston, and somebody had placed some flowers on the plaque. Now, I've never ever seen that before in all the years I've been going over there. Never seen that, and I think it's probably because it's outside a hotel. Because in the other location, you wouldn't really know it was there unless you were looking for it. So I think someone's placed these there because they're probably staying at the hotel. And I did chat to the son-in-law of the owner of the hotel. I chatted to the owner last time, Heather and I, when we were there, and he said that they were not there the day before, so someone had placed them there for the 16th. and it very conveniently matched with my the colour of my title there, so I was quite happy about that. This is where it is now. This is where it is now. The hotel's here, and then this is the movie I watched, Viva Las Vegas, on the 60th of August, and then I'm going to pull that up. And then I actually watched Clambake on the 17th, so I just watched a couple of movies this year. Last year I did my August Elvis movie marathon, where I watched every movie. So there's 31 Elvis movies, and then there's 2 touring movies. So that's the way it is, and on tour. So I watched every movie on each day of the month, 31 movies in 31 days. I didn't always watch them on the actual day. You know, I didn't watch like the first movie. I say I watched the first movie on the first day, the second movie on the second day. It didn't always work like that. In fact, I don't think I watched any until the third. So some days I watched 2 or 3 films. I did nod off 1 or 2 times, had to rewind. But yeah, I'm not doing that this year. I did that last year. I might do that again, but yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to fit that in this year. So yeah, what I've done then, I've used all my planner stamps here. I've used all my different coloured inks, and I've just stamped things that to me are relevant to Elvis and Elvis Day from my, you know, personal perspective. So doggies, of course, it's a tradition for us to do what we did that day. I've got the crown I always use for Elvis layouts, headphones for the music. I've got the cola for when I'm watching the movies, and the popcorn and what have you. The movie themed, the camcorder, you know, themed planner stamps. I've got this lovely Elvis stamp here that I just stamped in this corner. Then I've got a shake, rattle and roll here. I've got a camera. I've got the lightning bolt, which is the icon that Elvis designed for all his entourage, and it stood for taking care of business in a flash. So yes, stars, of course, hearts, and all the other things on here. I think I might have dropped something there, so that's a bit annoying. Maybe I could stamp something there. And then once I'd done the outline, which is what I was doing, that was my intention, the border or the outline or the framing, the layout, I then had a few gaps because the photos are different sizes. I've just cut them down to like fit into the areas on the page, because I wanted all these photos on the page, and I've just kind of cut everything down to make it fit. So this is not 4x6, I've cut it down slightly. So I thought I would, in between some of the areas, I've used these I've stamped yellow stars. And this is another Elvis stamp. This is Elvis wearing the gold lame suit. And that's, I've just stamped that in black because this textured cardstock is it's a very fine detailed stamp, and it's difficult to get the detail. So I thought if I did it in a dark colour it would show up better, which it has done. I inked the edges of this just to make that stand out slightly. And yeah, so now all I need to do is go off and do my writing. All I'm going to journal is exactly what I've just told you about: starting the day with the exercise, listening to Elvis, going over to Reelstone with the doggies, a little bit about where the plaque is now, the flowers, watching the movie, and you know, that's probably all I did that day. I can't actually remember what I had to eat that day, but if I've written it down on my phone, then on my phone diary, then I'll probably add that in too. Might have been like burger or something. So yeah, thank you. What I'll do is I'll do the journaling off camera, and I think I'm going to use the blue Uniball eye fine pen for this one. Do the journaling off camera. I don't need to stamp the date because I've added the date here, and then I will take a photo, pop that at the end of the video, and thank you for watching. Like I say, Scraptember day 3, white 12x12. If you're interested in Scraptember, pretty sure there's a Facebook group or page. I'll pop the details of that below, and the playlist of anybody else taking part today or any day. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Stay safe, take care, and I shall see you next time.